schedule. So, it's kind of like a reuniting of sorts.
No doubt. And then we had Los Fresnos in our
Right.
bi-district game, and we're back to the SEC of 6A. So
Yes, sir.
the meat grinder, as people used to call it,
Right.
and it still is. So you've got some great coaches in 32 6A. We're excited. We've never been in the same district for 2 years, back to back. It's always changed, and that's what I've noticed. But we're excited. We're excited for the challenge, and we know that it's going to be a tough district.
Non-district wise, what have you put together yet? Now knowing what you know.
We've got the Tenaco Bowl week 1. Us in West Loco East. We picked up the Mission Eagles week 2, and then we've got Laredo Nixon week 3. So. We feel that these teams are going to help us to get ready for a real tough 32 6A, and with what East does and with how far they've gone, in third round, and then what Coach Detmer and the Mission Eagles have done, and going out and going away and playing the Coach Villalon Laredo Nixon team. We feel that playing those type of teams will get us ready for 32 6A.
Well, you're used to seeing these teams, Coach, when you're ready for the playoffs, and now you're back in the same district with them. And I talk about this. A lot of coaches, first thing they look at is they start counting how many playoff teams were there last year. And you know what you're looking at here.
No
and
doubt.
These are teams that 3 years ago, Westlake had to prepare for them every week.
Yes,
And this past 2 years, you've looked at them, who the top teams are, who we're going to match up with, and so it's no mystery. So how does that help you getting ready for this particular district with all the familiarity with the teams?
Well, as a coaching staff, we sit down and we see, if we go to 32 6A, what type of offenses do they run? What type of defenses do they run? And who can help us in pre-district to help us, to make playoffs? We still have the same goals at West Local High. Different kids, but the same goals still arise. And we want to make playoffs. We want to practice on Thanksgiving, then we want to play in December. That's always been the goals at West Local High. So when we do look for teams, there's some certain offense and defense that we're looking for, and to get us prepared for 32 6A.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
One more question. What inspired the vest? It's pretty snappy. You're the only coach that I don't know if the camera is on it, but Coach Drummond rocks there. He rocks his vest here. What inspired the vest?
Our athletic director, Oscar Riojas and Gus Malzahn. I've always liked that look, and I've always liked that sweater look. And the coaches don't like it, but I said, well, I'll get you guys the polos or the hot jackets. This is me. I mean, this is what I like. But yeah, you'll be seeing me like this.
I seen it as I wondered. I was like, hey, it's pretty unique. I like it. I like it. It's cool.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thanks.
we'll see you guys.
Bye-bye. Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, we're Brownsville veterans, and thanks for watching Real Sports Live.
Located in the historic downtown district in San Benito is Main Street Boutique. A perfect stop, great atmosphere, locally owned and operated, and new items coming in every day. Something for everyone. Main Street Boutique in San Benito.
The D-Tronics inventory blowout sale going on now. Get a pair of 300-watt tweeters for just $1, speakers for $12, subs $25, radios with Bluetooth $29. Go to dtronics.com for more info. D-Tronics, fire-breathing sound.
You have been taken. There will be no ransom note, a chance to escape. Can you use the clues that others have left behind? Are you clever enough to figure it out? Can you escape? Let the game begin.
Music lovers, you have to. We are back here at Realignment. Kevin Naro, the seat's empty. It's not about to be. We're about to have some heavy-hitting coaches and athletic directors join the mix now. As again, the room may appear empty when you take a look at the room outside, but that doesn't mean the building's empty, as they're involved in some heavy-hitting meeting right now. Gilbert Leal of Brownsville, and thanks again, first of all, for joining us, Coach. And I'm saying this First and foremost, to any interview I do, thank you for allowing us to do what we do to cover the athletes in your school.
You've done a great job from the very first year that we opened up our press box to you.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of you do a lot of great things for a lot of the student athletes at BISD. We have some great games there at Sam's, and we're looking forward to another.
District 32 6A. The meeting was off camera, if you will. It was in another room, but it's wrapping up. Talk about what was talked about in that meeting.
Well, actually, I was upstairs. The larger meeting with me was the 10-teamer for
5A.
Division I 5A. So it's gonna be a pretty challenging district. You know, the McAllens are coming in. West East dropped, and then of course you have your traditional 5A powers that from last year. So there's a lot of incredible coaches. You got Coach Littleton and Coach Burgett, to go along with everybody else that was already in the district. So. That's going to be that district championship right there. They're going to have to really earn it to get that crown.
You're already juggling Sam Stadium from a schedule perspective. So does this make a difference on how they align this 5A?
It does. I guess you could say the jigsaw puzzle this year is that we're going to try to see if we could help out our student athletes in Brownsville by not playing any Saturday games this next year.
Okay.
So depending on what happens over here in the meeting with the 6A, we'll get together this afternoon with our 6 high schools, and if we could find a way to Brownsville Memorial Stadium every Friday night, there's a way for us in the long term to be able to help our athletes, get some rest. But those 48 hours make a big difference over a 11-week schedule in football. So if we could find a way with a puzzle to be able to find a way to get everybody accommodated at Sam Stadium, play a Thursday night game there, Friday night game there, and also play the games at Brownsville Memorial Stadium on a Friday night. If there's any spillover, we do have the sports park that was available that we did use last year with Rivetta and Valley View. We're just going to try to, in the long term, I think it's best for our athletes to be able to get that rest.
Any curves thrown at you, or was this what you expected when you walked in the door?
I was expecting a large district. I was praying that maybe we could have a 7 or 8 team district in 5A. They did load it up. It's unfortunate. I think Rio Grande City is the one that's going to make the move up north to Laredo this year, but it makes scheduling really easy as far as for your district schedule is already set up for you. You only have one non-district game in 5A. We got a little bit of a break with 6A this year. There was a big-time curveball last year where, us and 2 6A were the only districts in the state, that had the availability to play each other. So that was UIL's curve this year. They took it easy on us with 6A this year. So
how have your coaches reacted at the 6A, the 32 6A, knowing now they don't have to go to West Texas to play a game?
Well, don't get me wrong. I think our district as a whole benefited from the exposure and being able to let our student athletes know that what these coaches do in 32 6A on a daily basis is no different than what they're doing anywhere else in the state of Texas. So some of the games were very competitive over the last 2 years. I mean, just bragging on Hannah 2 years ago, beating Amarillo Tascosa, who was a Final Four team in 6A. It was a good exposure for our district to be able to do that. So those opportunities are still there in non-district. So it did open up the doors a little bit for our coaches. So, it was exciting, but it was a little bit of a hit financially for our school district to be able to as a whole, have to get up there and travel.
So you don't have to do that now.
That's unless they want to.
They still want to go.
Unless those contacts are there, and like I said, it's good for the Rio Grande Valley. I think you could see. You can see that the steady trend upward as far as for the coaching and the weight rooms and the things like that are out there, and those kids are 18-year-old kids just like ours too. So
I know once Coach Guest won that game, it's one you hang your hat on. That you preach to your kids, you want to be able to compete at every level, but when you're suddenly watching them in the Final Four,
that's right.
You're at that level.
That's correct.
And that's where you're at. Coach, appreciate you joining us, and I know you're busy and scheduling things. And
welcome to the team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll see you at some games down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? First pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all.
We continue to roll the coaches through here on a Monday morning after the Super Bowl. And right now, Monty Stumbaugh, Pirates of Hidalgo, and Coach on a morning. First and foremost, you're going to wake up and look at your schedule and not have to play Rio Hondo for the first time in how many years?
Since I've been here, this is 19 going on 20 years. So
how different is that? That is a huge game.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. Matter of fact, I lost Raymondville Real Hondo, both. And Piao dropped me, so. But Raymondville, every year, I think, since I've been there, I played Raymondville. Well, except the last couple because of district. Real Hondo, I think, has been every year.
Right.
So it's a little different.
So talk to me about what you've done looking at this district. Were you expecting it, first and foremost?
I thought ours would stay the same, like it has been, the 5-team district.
Right.
And I thought that Real Hondo and those guys, I thought they'd go 18, but I was hoping they'd go 5 because I wouldn't be looking for games right now. But, no, it didn't surprise me.
So you are indeed looking for games right now. You don't have that non-district schedule locked in.
No, I had them all locked in, and then my week 2 dropped me, and I lost 4, 5, and 6 when it was Real Hondo, West Oso, Raymondville, and they're all in that big district, so I lost them.
In years past, when you've had to face that, have you what's your thought process on how far are you willing to go to get that big game, or do you just want to make sure you get a game?
Well, I want to get a game for sure. You know, we right now we got 8. I don't need 2 weeks off. Really be 3 weeks off because I have 1 in district. You know, we'll have to get on, and I've called around and talked to some people, and there's some people that want to play, but you know, we did pick up Alice, but that could be a first-round game. And all those guys won't play, but I don't really want to play them twice. You know, if you're lucky enough to get in the playoffs. So, you know, we'll just try to find a game. I'll travel just not too far, within reason, you know, but, you know, San Antonio down, you know, we would go play, and if we had to meet halfway or something, you know. But we're trying to get a full deal, yes, sir.
We talked to coaches about looking at the realignment, looking at the district, and then circling, first of all, how many playoff teams there were from last year that are coming back. I know you guys look at that right out of the gate. So when you look at your district, you know, what pops out right away?
For our district?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be tough again. You know, the fair is always tough. Kingsville was tough. You know, they always got athletes. Grulier's tough. I mean, Zapata, it's a tough district. So, you know, we not district-wise, you know, we don't want to we want to play some tough people to get us ready for that, you know, but I don't want to get beat up to a pulp either. So, you know, we're playing, you know, we have to play Valley View. We picked up Orange Grove. We got Rio Grande City as a playoff team. You know, most of the people that were scheduled for us were playoff teams.
Yep.
But then we lost them. So, Alice is a playoff team. Rio Grande City is a playoff team. Carroll dropped us, so we had to pick up Orange Grove and Valley View. So, and other teams that are calling are playoff teams. So, but the one, all but one were playoff teams.
That's a heck of a schedule.
You know, but now now we're hoping we find 2 more. You know, but you know, you got to play tough people to get you ready, and we feel like that we can play with those people.
Sounds good.
You know, so we shall see.
That's right. Coach, thanks for joining us. Monty
Anytime.
Stumbaugh, Hidalgo Pirates, joining us here.
Y'all have a good day.
Back with more after this.
A nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable for condo and beach house rentals. Call and visit the website today. Island Services. Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, muy conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias, su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Hacienda Ford. Hacienda has it. Has what? Low monthly payments, a friendly buying process, and customer service like no other. It's simply a different way. It's a car buying experience you'll enjoy. With a huge Ford selection like Ford F-150s, Mustangs, Explorers, Escapes, the Ford Raptor, and a whole bunch more, buying a new Ford should be fun, and that's why we do it. Come see the difference at Hacienda Ford.
Hacienda has it.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Back here, realignment at the Aquatic Center in Harlingen, Texas. And right now, Bill Littleton, McAllen Memorial Mustangs. Coach, first, thanks for joining us here on a Monday morning after the Super Bowl. And I can't even believe I'm up myself, much less you coaches. We're here at 7:30 getting ready for this thing.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. You know, it's always a pleasure to sit down and talk to y'all.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about your district first of all. When you looked at it, any surprises right out of the gate or pretty much what you expected?
Well, we felt like there were two possibilities. Us either going to Laredo with Rio and Palmview.
Right.
But that didn't happen. So the other option we had was the 10-team district. And that's where we ended up. You know, no surprise there. Only thing is, 10 teams, not much time to get ready. So, you don't get to see your kids much during pre-district, so you got to hurry up and have your kids ready to play.
So what is the one non-district game, or have you picked that out yet?
Edinburgh Vella.
Vella, okay. And have you got them week one?
Week one.
Okay. So talk to me about, prepare. Have you ever been a coach involved with a district like this where it's like one time and everything else means something for the playoffs?
No, never been in a 10-team district. It'll be a little bit different. We'll have to do a better job in the summertime preparing our kids in that 1 hour where we have our kids for skills 1 hour a week or 1 hour, 2 hours a week. We're going to have to do a good job preparing our kids there and have them ready when we come in.
At least you know the teams in the district. And so, Coach, when you look up and down there, no mystery team that you got to figure out, well, we've never played them before.
Well, most of those teams we've played sometime or another since I've been here in the Valley. I don't know that we ever played Brownfield Lopez since I've been here, but I think everybody else we had played one time or another, when we were in the district or non-district with Brownfield.
Keeping all the McAllen schools together, easy from a scheduling perspective there at least?
Well, there will always be, we'll have to double up some on, somebody will have to play a Thursday game. We may have 2 games at home that week. Always present some problems there, but we're going to work that out this evening. We're having a 2:30 meeting at Coach Gonzalez's office, try to get that schedule all worked out. We're glad we all three got to stay together, keep those city rivalries going. And sometimes when you don't play and you lose, though, kids don't really understand what it's all about after 2 or 3 years. But we're glad to stay together.
We're good.
Right,
Coach Bill Littleton, McAllen Memorial, back with more after this.
Thank you, Jeff.
Hi, fans. Today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
A Piece of Cake by Ibarez in Harlingen is a sweet stop for cakes, cookies, and pastries. The The best in town for specialty cakes made to order. Sweetbread, cookies, pies, or how about cupcakes? At A Piece of Cake by Ibarra's, try a Texas-style cinnamon roll, or how about some tamales? Wedding cakes, graduations, you dream it and they can make it. The best in town is A Piece of Cake by Ibarra's in Harlingen.
We continue on with our coverage here on Realignment as we are at the Aquatic Center in Harlingen, Texas, and Westaco East will not be with some familiar opponents, and Coach Burgett joins us. And, Coach, first of all, thanks for joining us. I know you guys are busy. Thanks for taking a little time with us. And talk to me about what it's like when you open that envelope. You knew you were going somewhere different, so what's it like where you're at?
Well, Carl Padilla put it out, I don't know, about a month ago. And I thought he hit it right on the nose, and he did. We're going to be in a 10-team district, very competitive. With the McAllen schools moving down in the Brownsville and Palmview and Donna, I think it'll be a great district.
You get to keep the rivalry of the Westaco East, and that's week one.
Week one.
Now, normally, Coach, you got a couple of weeks to get ready for that, or you got a lot of weeks to get ready for that. How different is that going to be that your scrimmages are to get ready for the crosstown rivalry braggery game?
Well, to be honest with you, with the 10-team district, we better be ready from the beginning. And we normally, even though we started 1-3 last year, but I think a lot of people need to look at who we played. We normally play good football from the beginning. We beat Maynard. They went 4 deep last year in their first game. So, I think we'll be ready. We got all summer. We got all the rest of the school year to get them ready. So, Wesco, man, it's great to play those guys. It's great for the town. Stroman does a great job. Coach Linus before him did a great job. The kids like playing each other. They're friends, and after the game, they shake hands, and the community's happy. Whether we win or lose, either team, they're happy that the kids get a move on. Look what Wesco and Wesco East did last year, 3 deep, both area champs. So I'm glad to play those guys again.
You talk about scheduling perspective. Your life got a lot easier as far as that goes.
We've always had trouble scheduling. Sometimes I think coaches look for opponents that they think they can run over and win easy, and I guess we're not one of those. So we've always had Alexander last year, but this year, Wesco High wanted to play us, Ed Couch wanted to play us, in week 1. So, we chose to go with Wesco High because, I'm pretty sure that's what the town wants to see. But Bear does a great job in Ed Couch. We wouldn't have mind playing him neither, but, like you said, it took a lot of stress. It didn't take me very long. I had to find a scrimmage, Joe. I need scrimmage 1, and if I don't find scrimmage 1, that's okay. We'll scrimmage our own defense. Our defense is going to be pretty good next year.
Sounds good, Coach. One last question, and that is, when you look at your district and 9 teams, I know coaches want to win every game, and they look at their kids straight in the eye and tell them, but does it take a different approach for you to emphasize that point, that this district begins play on the second one, and every one means something if you want to play in the postseason?
Yes, well, even though if we wasn't playing in a 10-team like last year, we played in a 7-team. Every game was important. We had to beat Vela. That way, we got to play the first opponent we did last year, and Vela upset Harlingen. So, but it's very important for seeding. But with 9 teams, 10 teams, and playing 9 games, every game will be important, and we'll be ready. Wesco East will be ready.
Oh, yeah.
We like to play some football. We got a few guys coming back. I think we're going to have an exciting defense coming back. Almost all those guys are back, and they was the best in the Valley last year. So we're sort of excited. I just got to get an offense ready, but I think East will be okay. We're playing a bunch of great coaches. Littleton's a great coach. Flores is a great coach. Mac High has done a great job of turning that Shelby in 1 year, and Palmview has a great running back coming back, and I know this because I've had a month to get ready for these guys. So we have taken a little peek and see what they got coming back, and we're excited about our situation at Wesco East.
Final question, Coach. What's the timeline for Westaco East from now until that first week of August? Have you got it already scripted out what your kids are going to be doing?
Yeah, right now we spend a lot of time in the weight room. We're getting our kids strong. We're going to start, as soon as we get back, we're going to start a little bit of agilities. We got to find, like I said, I got some backs coming back, but they're awful small. But, we want to find out who's going to, fill the shoes of the people that left. So, by probably the middle of the summer, I can tell you right now, we'll know who's going to hit the field. We'll have our special teams ready to go, and we'll be ready. So, timeline, at Wesco East, I always
I'm probably the only coach that don't go off a script in practice. And my kids and coaches know why, and a lot of people don't know why. You know, if you have everything set, a game don't go perfect. So when I blow the whistle, we might be 20 minutes into practice, and I'll change everything. And I know my defensive coaches hate it, but you know what? They have gotten used to it, and the kids have gotten used to it, and a sudden change in a game, it helps us a lot. So, you know, I'm not really a guy to put everything in writing, but I can tell you that our kids, I'll guarantee you our kids will be ready for this coming season.
They always are. Most coaches say we want to put a goal of round 3. Your goal is let's get past round 3 year in, year out. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
Coach Burgett, Wesco East, back with more after this.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Back here on our show here from the Aquatic Center in Harlingen. Right now, Manny Gomez, Harlingen Cardinals, joins us in the mix. And, Coach, thanks for joining us first and foremost. I know it's a busy morning. Talk about what you've been talking about. What's that schedule looking like? Everyone's asking about non-districts, and you finally get some non-districts and not have to look across to West Texas, but you had the option to do it. Where'd you go?
Actually, what we're talking about is Mahomes. Yeah. The overs was paying. No, yeah.
Hey, I had 0-0.
And he had to take those steps. They lost big money, by the way. Anyway, on those when he had to take out kneel downs and stuff.
Yes,
anyway,
yes.
But go ahead. I forgot what the question was.
Your district.
Yes, sir.
You get a little extra district play, meaning you may not have to schedule West Texas. But we've already talked to some coaches who are like, I didn't mind playing West Texas. So where do the Harlingen Cardinals go in non-district?
We'll play anybody, right? But at the same time, you know, it's driving to Midland ain't no fun. You know, I don't know if you guys ever been. It's like kind of reminds you of the.
We covered you out there. We know.
It just reminded me of the Roadrunner, the cartoon. You know, it's just nothing but mountains and nothing out there. But no, we developed a good relationship with Coach. It's A to Z. I can't pronounce his last name, but. We had it already planned out that if we were going to play each other, we were going to do it in San Antonio.
Okay.
But I believe they were also put in the A-team district as well. So, but no, it worked out for us. I like the fact of bringing some old school rivalry with Wesco High back into the mix. It's you know, some of the old school rivalries from back in the day. So no, we're not getting down to High, but we're getting down to North. Is still, you know, it's going to be fun. But bottom line is we're just thankful that we're not having to travel because it's not. Basically, for us adults, it's for the young kids, you know, for our players and stuff. It does take a toll on them and stuff. But the bottom line is we're excited for what's yet to come.
Still making calls on the non-district schedule, or have you got that pretty much penciled in?
We have that. We have Laredo United South week 1, and then we have Vela week 2, a rematch, and United, Laredo United week 3. So we got 3 proven teams, battle-tested teams that should be fun. And the main thing about it is, you know, I just have a great rapport with those head coaches. And that's what makes it fun for not just the Valley, but for us coaches too. You know, we're all competitors, but at the same time, you know, you like to go against the best. So I think that's going to be very challenging early on.
So no Converse Judson?
No, actually, Coach Rodney, it was in the loop, man, because they were probably going to possibly need a week 4 game.
Okay.
And since we popped into a week 8, that automatically took us out of that possible conversation. But Coach Rodney up at Judson was going to be a possibility, you know. But sometimes it's iffy when you want to play those guys because they bring a lot of physicality to the game. But more importantly, it's also a lesson that you can learn early on. But the bottom line, it didn't work out. And knowing us coaches, every coach is in here, we always are going to adapt and overcome to whatever situation comes in our direction. So, but I think from what I understand, everybody is happy with their districts. But it's, you know, I was hoping to play Pioneer again. They're a really good team, but I know they're up and going to do some great things. But we unfortunately weren't able to play that game. So, but other than that, we're excited about our new schedule. Absolutely.
Motivational perspective, though, you get to play the team that knocked you off in the playoffs, and yes. I know you use that a lot. If you get a chance to play that team the next year, you want them early and often.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and it's not about losing. It's about learning, and that's the whole thing about it. We learned a lot based on what happened, but again, we have to always put our best foot forward, and I felt that game we didn't do, and they did. But, it's just like a friendly rivalry that's going to be built up between us and Coach Campbell. They do a great job up there. They compete. They got I don't know where they get these kids, but they got some big kids over there. But it should be a great game. But we're excited for it, and like I said, we'll play anybody. But at the same time, we want to do the best we can and play the best we can early on, so prepare us for district play.
Ask this about many coaches here, and I'll ask you, timeline from now till August 1st. What are we looking at for the Harlingen program?
Well, right now we go through phases. Everybody goes through phases, and right now we're going to, we're trying to get these kids a lot bulkier right now in the phase that we're in. And next week we'll start going three times into the weight room instead of 4 times. Anyway, so we'll go a track phase, and we're going to do spring ball this year and stuff. And we got some young kids that we need to make them mature with the physicality. But other than that, Harlingen football is never going to be unwavered when it comes to the physicality, the preparation, physically, mentally, and socially / spiritually. And we're going to have a fun team. We're going to break out also a new uniform as well, so that should be exciting. We're probably going to reveal it with I'm trying to see if I can make it happen with the 2011 players and stuff. But we're working on that. But, again, we don't really know what tomorrow brings, but we know that today we're going to do the best we can. And at Harlingen, that's how we're going to approach our way.
Sounds good.
Anything that stood out to you? I know a lot of coaches in 32-6A expected Donna North and Weslaco to join. Anything stand out that kind of threw you off guard maybe?
I'm a type of person that does not assume or try to speculate, right? I just, whatever shows up, let's roll. And I'm just glad that we are in an 8. I was hoping for a 7, but an 8's fine. It's great enough. I just was for sure was not wanting for it to be a 6 again,
right.
But it all worked out. I think it worked out for everybody. And by the way, I think you, Mr. Bowling, I tell you, you're doing a great thing, man. And I'm super proud that what you've become and hiring this young man right here. I tell you what, you guys are doing some great things, and appreciate you guys very much for what y'all do.
If you guys didn't open your doors, we wouldn't be successful. So I appreciate it right back to you.
Sure. Thank you.
You bet. We'll be back with more after this.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce. Back here as we continue realignment. Coach, got a new guest over here, and Kevin Naro. Go ahead, fire away.
Hey, Coach Pardo from Bronzeville Pace. Coach,
how you doing?
Yeah, he had to take his shot at me. I was wearing A&M last time we spoke, and
it is A&M colors you're still wearing.
Right,
so.
it's maroon. So yeah, so it's all good. He's forgiven because we made up for it. He said he's a Cowboy fan. So I'm like, all right, we're good. Anyways, Coach, let's start off with this district and what you guys see or what stood out to you.
Well, it got a little tougher now. We're still in a 10-team district that we were the last 2. But now we got the McAllens in here, and we got Weslaco we got McAllen Memorial, and Weslaco is probably, fighting for district championships over there in 6A, and now they're coming in and play with us. So it's going to be definitely a lot tougher than it was this past realignment.
Mm-hmm. Talk about Jose Banda and the things he did this year, and, Dylan Baron, these kids had a fantastic year. And you guys went toe-to-toe with a giant in Corpus Christi Miller. And just talk about the season that you guys had.
Well, we were young, inexperienced when we started. We're still young. We played, 2 freshmen, the varsity level, and, quite a bit of sophomores. But they're experienced now. I think, they had a whole season on them. Baron will be gone. He was a senior, so we lost our backs. Banda, Banda's just getting, more confident. He's doing a lot better, better reads and everything as he's getting older, more mature. So, and we're looking forward for him to do great things. And
we've seen a bit of a culture change at Pace, and to where these kids are believing in themselves, and you guys are back to your winning ways. And just talk about the changes you've made there and how these kids have all bought in.
Well, we brought back, the old system under Coach Medrano we had there. I was his defense coordinator for, quite a bit of years. When I came back, I brought, my OC was our OC back then, so that helps. My DC, it's a PACE graduate. He played for me, and then he coached under me. So, bringing him back, he understands the process, how we do things, so it's a lot easier. Some of the old staff was still there, and the new staff just kind of picked it up what we wanted, and they bought into it, and the kids bought into it. But I think the biggest point is that it wasn't a new person that was coming into PACE. It was somebody that had already been there. So every time I talked about PACE, I'm telling you, I was here. It could be done. It could be done. It's been done. So I think that made it easier for the kids to buy into the process, into the program.
Speaking of easier, a lot of coaches thrown into a district with this many teams in the district. It's a tough transition. You know what it's all about, having one non-district games, and then everything else means something. So, is that easier for you to get ready for the season?
Yes, because now we're more used to it. I guess that's a big. But the talent level, it's going to be much better this year. From those 6As coming down to us, they're being more, I guess, challenged. More, they've been at it more with us against bigger schools. So. And it'll be good for us, to get, to the West Oakland East, the power ball against what we normally do, and see, it'll make us grow, definitely. And that's what we're going to bring back to the kids and challenge them and say, hey, we got some heavy hitters not coming into our district. We got to be ready for them, when they come in.
I think this was the biggest change-up we had thrown to us, because the Brownsville stayed together, but then we also add the McAllens. Mm-hmm. So I know obviously they've spent a lot of time in 36A.
Yeah.
So just talk about the change there, adding three new teams, particularly from McAllen.
Well, traditionally McAllen's been pretty good. So we used to play McAllen more back in the days, and it was always a tough matchup for us. And then of course we lose Rio. But we gain, McAllen Memorial, West Oakland East, so.
Two similar offenses when it comes to Rowe and
yeah.
Right.
So, and then Rowe played real good early on, and then, of course, they meet the big schools, and they weren't that far behind. So you can't count Rowe out of it. Coach Flores always been doing a great job, So it's going to more definitely be difficult for us.
I count 6 teams that were playoff caliber teams last year. Only 4 are going to make it through there. So, again, I allude to this, Coach, that the teams that are used to playing in these 9 district games are more prepared, it seems, for playoffs because of the fact that it's tough enough just to get through the district to get into the playoffs. Yeah. And does that help you?
Yes. I think when we went to play, Miller, playing the Sharylands, playing, the Brunswick Vets, playing, the Palm Views, Mission Vets, Mission Vets really helped us, when you play a team of Miller's caliber, so that definitely gets us ready for the playoff, games.
Wesco East is no Mission veterans, but they're a 3-deep playoff team on a regular basis with a different type of game. How do you feel that prepares you, perhaps when you face a playoff team going against the physical style of a Wesco East?
Well, it definitely toughens us up. We're going to be a lot tougher just to play them, in a regular game, district game. But you don't see too many of that offense out there. Usually it's more spread, but this will help us physically, and mentally when you have to play those kind of teams. So when we get to like the Miller game, when it got to the physical part, it didn't phase them. Banda would just, give me the ball, I'm going to run for it. And, just give me first downs. And that was a big thing that we said, get first down, keep that offense off the field. Mm-hmm. So and that's basically what our game plan was back then.
Coach, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you in August.
Thank you.
I'll still be wearing maroon next time I see you.
I'm getting used to it, but at least we like the Cowboys. Good job, guys.
Back after this.
Thank you.
Back here, another coach, Coach Cantu, Brownsville veterans. Coach, another 9 district game schedule. So talk about it.
Man, I'll tell you what, you have to live it to understand what it is. It's such a grind, and you know, in the past, injuries early in the season when you have 7-team, 8-team, it's not as critical or crucial. But now all of a sudden, the guy gets hurt in a scrimmage, and it's going to affect district play and so forth. But then again, we all got to go through it. So, and exciting teams. As a head coach, I've never got to one of my favorite stadiums, and Wesco East, we played them twice in the playoffs. We split with them 1-1, so that's kind of a rematch there of some outstanding playoff games. So, you know, I think our kids are going to be excited about it. I think our kids will see the McAllen schools in the East and so forth, and it's hard, you know, in Harlingen South being non-district. And then we're scrimmaging Sharyland Rattlers and Wesco Panthers. So, talk about an outstanding schedule of traditional Valley powerhouse teams.
And you get a wide range of styles. You get the what at times is a prolific offense at McAllen Memorial, the wide open style of the Rose, the ground and pound potential games of the McAllens, the Wesco East, which can go toe to toe with you know, strength conditioning and test you to the nth degree there.
Yeah.
So that prepares you. Again, I talked to just recently to other coaches. When you have 9 district games, that in essence puts you into a playoff mentality from literally week 2 of the football season until you get to the playoffs, if you're fortunate enough to get there. Talk about just this mix and how better that makes you when it comes to playoff teams, when you make it through there.
You know, I would think that there's an argument for that going through this will make you an extremely tough team, but it also can make you a really banged-up team. I think we found that the last few years in the district we were in, where, for example, Mission Vet's quarterback going down kind of in the mid-season, and some of the other key guys in our district. But yeah, you've touched on a lot of it. And what I'm thinking about when you talk about all those teams is, thank goodness we got a Dave Evans, you know, being our coordinator on defense, that's kind of seen it all type thing, and always has great answers to you know, respond to all those different type of schemes.
Does it look at you from an offensive perspective and look your kids in the eye and say, we're going to have to score some points on a consistent basis?
No doubt. But to be honest, we've always tried to have that mentality regardless. But, but it's definitely going to be a tough challenge.
And the non-district is Harlingen South.
Correct. Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything? Was this what you guys expected?
Yeah. It really was. I mean, there was a little bit of talk about, well, maybe they'll send the McAllens to Laredo and Palmview, and maybe they'll have 2 5A Division 1s in the Valley, but I think that was kind of wishful thinking. But it's
the Browns will stay together too. You guys.
That's true. Yeah, we're together, and everybody's getting better every year. So, outstanding looking district, and I think all the Valley districts are.
Yep.
Just really competitive football down here.
Coach Leal said he was going to try to keep the Brownsville schools from having to schedule Saturday games. How important is that to you?
Well, I think it affects me the most because I'm at Veterans High School, and the plan to do that is to utilize Veterans High School more often, where it may be a game every Friday night there. So I don't know if that means we're going to be at home every Friday night. I want to give our kids the opportunity to play at Sam Stadium too. It's got the nice scoreboard. It's got the big stadium environment. But we'll get all that settled tomorrow at 9 a.m. But games at Veterans are going to be much more prevalent. But it's going to get equipped for it. Coach Leal is our restrooms and concessions, brand new on the visitor side, is going to happen soon, and a couple other things. So we'll be ready for it.
Thursday games are one thing. Saturday games, if you had to flip a coin, which would you rather see off your schedule?
Oh, Saturday games.
Saturday
games is tough on everybody. It's tough on families at home. It's tough on the kids, on the coaches, on the school. I mean, yeah, no doubt. For me, it's easy.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you down the road.
Guys. Thank you. I'll take care.
Back with more after this.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
Hacienda Ford is having a blowout sale on the best-selling vehicle in America, the 2019 Ford F-150 XLT pickup. Right now, take $10,000 off MSRP and get 0% APR for 72 months. Hacienda has it.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
Back here on Real Sports Live, Mark Molina now joins us. He has been bouncing all around this place. Thanks, and first and foremost, for lining up all those interviews for us.
Yeah, no, it was fun just kind of seeing everybody working things out and meeting wherever they were, whether it be in a private room, whether it be in a fold-out table. But I mean, it was pretty fun to see. A lot of crazy things happen with the realignments. I mean, some of the stuff that kind of stuck out to me. 16-5-AD1. The Brownsville schools are going to have to run another gauntlet, and this time it's going to be a lot harder introducing McAllens. So, I mean,
And
just
West
kind
Go
of
East.
in the West Go East. I mean, what kind of stuck out to you guys?
I think that was the big one, the one that you just mentioned, because the question was, like everyone was saying, the McAllens, were they going to go to Laredo or were they going to keep their own district? No, they went ahead and moved east, and they're going to be joining the Brownsvilles. The Rio Hondo district, we saw that district go from a 4-team district all the way up to an 8-team district. 32-6A, we saw the relief on a lot of 32-6A coaches where it's no longer a 6-team district. They were like, if we can get 7, cool. If we can get 8, great. They got 8, fantastic.
Yeah, I know Beto Leal, whenever I talked to him when we first came in, he was real. I talked to him, and I was talking to the Juice.
The Juice, hey, he was our first guest.
We were talking to him a little bit, and they were just like, I'm worried, and they're like, we want to go to 8 teams. They're like, we hope we don't stay small. And like, games are tough. Like, everybody was hitting that board trying to get games and in and out. 32-6A convened for a long time in that room. I mean, getting games is tough. So, I mean, it looked tough for them to get games now. I could imagine if they had stayed a 6-team district.
Right.
So, luckily for them, they were able to go to 8 teams, shorten it up a little bit. So now I think they just need, 3 non-district games. So, I mean, that was pretty big. And like you said, in 4A, the free ride's over. Like, no more 4-team district.
Right.
So, I mean, it's going to be a much more compelling district, and you have some really good teams there. The Robstown, Rockport, Fulton, Sinton. Port Isabel, Sinton, they played in the playoffs this year. So, very familiar with each other. So it's going to be interesting to see how that district plays out, because these are all old playoff foes.
Right.
Now they're in one district. So
right, and then it's kind of sorts. You go back 4 years ago, well, that's what the district used to look like. So it's kind of a reunitement of sorts. But yeah, I think that 31-6A district, along with the 32-6A, sticks out, but mainly particularly that new 5A district with the McAllens joining. And we were just talking with Coach Pardo, and he's like, man, it's been a while since we played McAllen. He's talking about back in the day, and then David Gunthou was like, well, I've never even coached at McAllen Veterans Stadium. So, it's a bit of a neat deal for some. We're gonna see some changes. You see Brownsville Veterans and McAllen Memorial.
Yeah, and I saw some of the reactions on some of the UIL posts online, and people were just like, oh wow, Brownsville's really in for it. But I mean, when you look at some of these teams, you look like the Brownsville Veterans, you look like at Pace. They've been able to play with some of these top tier teams, so it's going to be interesting to see, especially somebody like Pace, who went into that playout game with Miller and really showed them up. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for some of these other teams over these Brownsville schools. So I mean, these Brownsville schools are vastly improving. Coach Coach Pardo, Coach Gunthou at Brownsville Vets. I mean, these are good football minds. It's going to be interesting to see how those games play out. So it's going to be fun.
That's going to do it for our broadcast. Our final thoughts here. Change is in the mix, and we'll have an article on it in our first magazine, which comes out this week. Mark Molina, the voice, the swimming voice of Real Sports Live. Kevin Naro, I'm Joe Bowling from the Aquatic Center in Harlingen. So long for just a while.